Hi, it's Ashleigh at LightYear Docs, and this is just a quick instructional video of how to complete the Dependency Declaration for superannuation and income tax purposes document. So as we all know, part of the superannuation estate planning equation is the Dependency Declaration, where a member of an SMSF notifies the trustee of an SMSF that a dependent is someone, in their opinion, is a dependent on them for taxation purposes, and also they need to say why. So if at the time of a member's death and the evidence shows that the beneficiary was a tax dependent, then any lump sum death benefit payment would be tax-free. Whilst this document is free on the LightYear Docs platform, you do need to have a user account to be able to access, and also for us to assemble and save the document for you. So if you haven't yet registered, you can register in the top right hand corner here just by clicking sign up, some basic registration details, and as our documents are all pay as you go, there is no sign up. No sign up fee or ongoing monthly commitment there at all. So you can simply sign up and have access to this document for free. Once you've signed up, you can log in. So clicking log in up the top here, signing in, and it will take you straight to your existing clients page. So these are all our existing clients that we've already generated. I'll take you back to the home page here. So to access all of our documents, they're either listed in their product categories, so we can scroll down and search via our product categories, or we can simply use the search bar here and start typing the name of a document or something that we're looking for. So we'll start typing dependency, and this one's listed under the SMSF establish, maintain and upgrade category, and also will be the estate planning category as well. So just clicking on our document and taking me straight through to be able to buy the product. So before I buy a product, I'm going to have a quick read of the information, general benefits, and our frequently asked questions. So for this one, at the time of death, if a beneficiary of the deceased member was a dependent as defined in the Income Tax Assessment Act 1997, then they may take a lump sum payment tax-free. So this document allows an SMS member to make that declaration in relation to financial dependence. As with all of our documents, we do give our recommendation as to whether we think they should be digitally signed or not. This one, as it does require a witness, we don't recommend it. So you can have a look through the information here, and as I said, this one is completely free, so that's showing up there. I do need to click through and buy the product still. Next page here is it's telling me where do we want to store this information. So this is why I need a user account to be able to access it. So we'll put this one into the Smith Family Fund, or we'll do it just for John Smith. I'll have a look. You can see all the existing folders that I have for my clients already appearing. I want to create a new one just for John Smith, and clicking next. Payment page comes up first. As I said, this one is free, but all of our terms and conditions are listed there. And then you have the option to pay by credit or pay by credit card. Again, this one is free, so neither are going to make a charge. I aren't going to be charged for this document. I have a fairly extensive amount of credit there, so I'm just going to accept and pay by credit. Or you just process your credit card, but there is no payment paid to your card, or charged to your card, sorry. Accepting and paying by credit, and what is going to load up now is what we continually refer to as the Hot Docs iframe. So this iframe appears in a box within the LightYear Docs website, and it's basically an interview process, or it's what we could refer to as an interview process, whereby we ask you a series of questions, and it's the same for all of our documents, that then will turn into your assembled document at the end. Now this one's a fairly straightforward one. Some of them you can see your interview outline down the side here. Some of them are more extensive. This one's quite straightforward. So all we're doing is simply answering the question. So the first one, what is the full name of the super fund? So we'll put in here, it's the John Smith Super Fund, and what is the full name of the member who is making this declaration? So it will be John Smith. So just typing those straight in there exactly as I want them to appear in my document, and then selecting next. Okay, now I need to enter the trustee details of the fund. So this one will put it as a corporate trustee, the trustee company name, Raining Money, it's telling me to do it excluding proprietary limited, and then entering my ACN in here. Company's registered address, so I'll just put some demo data in here. And then the company directors, so how many directors does the company have? So I can either choose sole director or 2 or more directors. We'll just go with the sole director for this one, being John Smith, and typing his name in there, and then clicking next. So I can use these navigation buttons along the bottom, or I can jump through my interview outline here. And as you can see, as I'm answering questions, it's expanding out into my interview tree. So the next page that has appeared is my dependency declaration. So it's asking me what is the date that the declaration will be made. So generally this will be the date that the document is executed. So we'll put in today's date being the 17th of May 2019, or I can use the calendar option here and select the date. The next question is, please enter the number of dependents the member will be declaring as dependents for the purposes of the Superannuation Industry Supervision Act 93 and the Income Tax Assessment Act 97 in the box below, and then press tab. So whilst you can have as many dependents declared as the member sees fit, the LightYear Docs document allows from 1 to 3 to be made, and after 3 you would just generate another document for them. So for this purpose we'll put in 1 and then clicking tab and next. What's going to open up now is a page for me to fill in the details of that dependent. So again, you can see my interview tree here is expanding some more. So what is the full name of the dependent? So we'll put Sammy Smith. And next one, what is the relationship of the member to the dependent? So we'll put Sammy is the grandson. So just typing the one word of the relationship, so grandson. Next is that reason. So obviously this needs to be very factual and will be considered in the event of the death or a request for the payment. So inserting the reasons why the member feels or is of the opinion that Sammy Smith is a dependent to them. So we'll say John Smith, the member, pays living allowances of $500 per month directly to Sammy Smith. Now this is a free text box, so you can write whatever you see in there, but it will appear exactly as you put it here into your document. Now if I had selected back here more than one, underneath here this button would allow me to add more dependents, but I've only selected 1. If I want to go and add more, I can simply change that to 2 or to 3, and then this button would become unshaded and I'd simply add more, and I'd do that same process for the additional dependents. Clicking on next across the bottom, now we need the trustee meeting details. So the 17th we'll put in today as the date of the meeting. John attended the meeting. Now if I want to use an address that I've used previously, I can click select here and John's details will already come up. And if I put that in, his address is going to appear automatically for me. If it's a new address or the meeting was held at a different address, I'd simply type that in there. And then selecting next, and that document is basically done. So this is now just summarizing who's going to need to sign it, and a few warnings there about going back and checking your answers. So jumping through each page of the interview tree and making sure that we have answered everything correctly. Once we're happy with it, we can either go down to the last page and click next, or select finish here. So what's happening in the background now is that document is being assembled, and at the same time it's also being sent into your LightYear Vault, and I'll show you that briefly in a minute. And the reason it's been sent in your Vault is you've always got access, so you won't lose any of your documents, and if you find an error, within the first 24 hours of you executing this document, you can go back into your Vault and relaunch that interview process. So all your answers will be there, and you can just change whatever mistakes you made. After 24 hours though, that document is locked down, and that relaunch button, which I'll show you in a minute, does disappear. This one's a free one, so it's a little bit different. You can just go in and purchase another one if need be, but generally speaking, they all lock down after 24 hours. So you do need to jump back in as soon as possible if you notice some errors. Okay, so our document has been downloaded, so you can see that took me all of about 1 minute to complete the interview process. Downloading the document, have a quick look at it. So Dependency Declaration for super and income tax purposes. It's for the John Smith Super Fund and the member John Smith. So the basic outline of the document, we've got our legal disclaimer. So all of our documents are signed off by TGA Legal. And then forwarding the document is some commentary around the payment of death benefits, who is a dependent, some of the meaning of a financial dependent, we've got some regulatory guidelines and how to use the dependency declaration. Next, we have our dependency declaration. So you can see all the details that I answered in that interview process. So the date of declaration, the name of the fund, the member's name, the declaration that the member has made, and then who they are naming. So they're naming Sammy Smith, the grandson, and there's that text that I put in. So John Smith, the member, pays living allowances of $500 per month directly to Sammy Smith. So that's been pulled all through. Next, I have my signing. So as this one does need to be witnessed, we haven't recommended electronic signing there. Okay, trustee resolution. So for our trustee meeting, date of declaration, date of meeting, name of the fund, the member's name, who it's attended and where it was attended at. Then we have our declaration of dependence. The same details are pulled through, so it's exactly the same. So Sammy Smith, so what the member's declaring, and then what the trustee resolves. So it was resolved by the trustee to hold this declaration of dependence for determination in the event that the member dies and has passed, or has directed the trustee to pay superannuation benefits to the person so named as dependents, and then executed by the trustee, being John Smith as director. So it's a very simple process to be able to generate that. But like I said, if I did pick up an error, so perhaps this did need to be $600 per month, that document has been sent back into my vault. So accessing back into the LightYear Docs website, up in the top here, you can click on my vault, and all of your client folders would then be listed. So I created a folder, John Smith, but as you can see, I've got a number of folders there that it would have saved to if I'd used an existing folder. So just clicking on John Smith, there's my document there, and here's the information. So my document name, my document reference, which also matches my invoice, the date it was generated, and it's been received. So you can download using this download button here. You can remove it from your vault. I wouldn't recommend it, as it can serve as an audit trail for you. If there's an error though, you can just regenerate it. And then there's that relaunch button. So that little rocket will stay there for 24 hours. So if you do notice the error, you can just click on it, and what will appear is your interview process that you went through last time. So if I wanted to change that 500 to 600, I would go into my dependent, find where the error is, and it could be anywhere, make that change, and then clicking finish. That will then send another version of this straight back into my vault. So if I go back into my vault here and I refresh this page, going into John Smith, I now have two versions of that document. So the one I generated 4 minutes ago and the one I've generated now. I can then jump back over, download my new version of my document. Let's pull it up. And if I scroll down and have a look, I can see that that change has been made. $600, there it is. $600 per month to Sammy Smith. So you have 24 hours where you can make those changes. If when you're generating a document, you want to save it and come back later, provided you press save at the top of the iframe, it will go into my in progress documents in exactly the same way that it would be listed into your vault.